needing something to fill the day. I get a lot out of it actually. I feel it's something worthwhile that I can do. I've always been a driver, enjoy driving, drive anywhere. So yes, I can honestly say that I enjoy doing it. Well, why do we need volunteers? I think everyone needs some help at some time or other in their lives, don't they, at some point. And there should be, hopefully, people about that are able to provide that service.
I got into volunteering because I found that I owed the community my experience of what it's like to be in a wheelchair, what it's like to have a disability, and just educate people into how life is with a disability and help them understand the problems that we face through day-to-day life, and bridge the gap between ignorance and happiness.
It's the personal achievement, I think, and being able to help other people that are less able than yourselves. There's a lot of people that have become very lonely because they don't have families or anybody else to help them in life. And I think being a volunteer is a very valuable, worthwhile, rewarding thing to do.
I started volunteering to give girls the voice, to give them the chance to do fun and interesting opportunities, and a chance for girls to be themselves. I get out of volunteering a sense of being able to give girls a safe space, give them the chance to see them blossom from very timid young girls into fantastic, resourceful young ladies. We need volunteers because without them, girls would not get the amazing opportunities we give them. They wouldn't get a chance to go on camp. They wouldn't get a chance to use DIY skills. They wouldn't get a chance to advocate for themselves and other people, and basically be fantastic members of the community that can be helpful, they're friendly for everyone.
I volunteered for Rotary because at the time, when I was much younger, I also wanted to give something back to the community. I joined Rotary quite some time ago, and my entire time in the organisation has been a joy. I've been able to meet new friends, I've been able to help raise funds for the community, I've been able to give things back to the community, I've been able to help with the great innovation that we have in Evesham, which is called the Tree of Light, and that's been around now for 25 years. So if we put all that package together, I think being able to volunteer and take part in these organisations is a wonderful thing, and you can get so much out of it.
Get lots of satisfaction from helping other people. As a group, Rotary group, we spend a lot of time having fun together, raising money. When we raise money, we have fun doing it. The community in Evesham has benefited for many years from Rotary. We've been it's actually our 75th anniversary in November, and so we've been, as a group, helping out the community for all those years. We've given away around 250,000 from our Tree of Light project over the last 25 years. And it is just a wonderful institution to belong to.
If we don't have volunteers to take part in these organisations, basically nothing happens. We are a caring society, and a society where we do rely on volunteers and others to help us. And in Rotary, which of course is all volunteers made of men and women, we do just that. If we didn't have any volunteers in Rotary, we couldn't have our Tree of Light. That wouldn't exist. We wouldn't be able to raise significant funds also for local communities. And we wouldn't be there for you when you need us.
I started volunteering 20 years ago with Caring Hands. In fact, I was the person that originally set up the project through the church I was attending at the time, because we could see there was a need in our community, so food parcels was where we started, and 20 years later I'm now employed to run the project overall with a team of about 100 volunteers working for us. So it's been an amazing journey. Oh gosh, you get far more out of volunteering than you give. It's being involved in something that's bigger than you. It's being involved in something that's serving the community, that's making a difference in our local community and helping people in need. So that's just amazing to be able to do that. To be perfectly honest, if there weren't volunteers, Caring Hands would really struggle to operate. We have 3 employees now, but we can't do everything, and just basically the services wouldn't happen if we didn't have volunteers.
Well, I guess essentially I just wanted to try and give something back. I got a little bit of time. I know that volunteering means different things to different people, but for me it was just, I wanted to give something back. Like I said, I got some free time, and essentially I'd known in the past that when I'd done volunteering before, because I've had periods where I've done volunteering, that I found it incredibly rewarding as well. And it's nice to be able to give something back and to align yourself with something that not necessarily makes you feel good about things. That's not necessarily the reason to do it, but just in a sense to make a difference for someone else and to be able to give back and be part of that sense of a wider community, I guess. I think at the moment it's quite obvious. I mean, some of it I guess has kind of become very visible through COVID. There's lots of people who are on their own. There are lots of people living in fragmented communities. There's a lot of need for people to come together, and volunteering can be a great way of bringing people together. So in that sense, I think, I'd really encourage kind of more people to do it and to support their neighbours, support their communities, support organisations that they're passionate about, and really try and make a difference, not just for yourself, but for other people.
I got into volunteering. I was just starting a young family, and I just saw all the great things that local groups around Evesham do, and I wanted to give something back as well. It's just a really good feeling when you see something, a good job done, and you see the smiles on people's faces, and you're doing something just not for money, not for recognition, but just to give something back to the area in which you live. If we didn't have volunteers, a lot of things that we take for granted would just start to disappear and wouldn't happen. I'm with Evesham Round Table, and one of the great things we try and do every year is this Santa sleigh and help Santa come round Evesham, and that'd be a tradition. It'd be so sad to lose, and all the money and the time that people give up for that would disappear.
When I retired from working in the NHS, I thought I needed to do something else, so I went to Acorn Hospice and worked with the children in their hydrotherapy pool for a bit. And after a while I thought, I've got a dog that would make a nice therapy dog. So I went through the assessment, and I then passed the assessment and went to Acorn. I get a lot of pleasure from seeing the people who like my dog, making a fuss of them. At the Acorn Hospice, it's lovely to see the children who want to stroke the dog, and some of them are quite capable. With another lead can take her for a walk with me as well. It's nice that people in institutions or hospices, whatever, they can have something come to them to help cheer their day up, and it gives them something to tell their visitors at the end of the day. I've seen a dog and it's done this and it's done that, and I've given it a cuddle. And so, yes, it helps them. It helps children who are frightened of dogs to get used to a calm therapy dog. It gets people who have had strokes. It helps people to learn how to stroke the dog. It helps people that are shy, bring them to talk to the dog. It brings a lot of things out of people that are lonely or quiet. And also it brings back memories that people have got, dementia, things like that.
I wanted to find a cause that was close to my heart, which is dementia. So I started to volunteer for the Alzheimer's Society, and from that I do Dementia Friends information sessions, just trying to spread the word about dementia and how if everybody does one small act, that can really make a huge difference to people who are living with dementia. And now I'm the coordinator of the Evesham Dementia Action Alliance, and we aim to work together with local businesses, local groups, form a network so that together we can all help to make Evesham a dementia-friendly community. It's the feeling that you're making a difference, I think. I'm very motivated in what I do. I believe that I am making a difference. I've made lots of friends, and it's a good way of becoming and feeling part of your own community, I think.
The Evesham Dementia Action Alliance is completely run by volunteers. Without volunteers we wouldn't exist. I think that Wychavon District Council and Evesham Town Council are very supportive of all of the groups in the town who are volunteering in whatever capacity, but they can't do everything themselves. So they support local groups like ours, and together I think we make a lot of difference in the town.
I don't think I've always done it really. There's no sort of, nothing got me into it. I've just always done it. I really enjoy the things I do. There's quite a lot there. Obviously I'm here today for the parish games, but I volunteer for other things as well. We need volunteers to run the organisation and also to help on one-day events.
It's really an extension of what I used to do when I went to work, because I'm retired now. I was a social worker before. I tend to get very passionate about certain things, and I found a cause that I was really passionate about and wanted to do something about. Oh, lots of things. There's what I call moments of joy, when something happens that you've been able to influence or to change or to help someone, and you see the outcome of those things. It gives you a great deal of joy and self-fulfillment. Being a volunteer is different from being a professional. Being a volunteer means you're doing something for the love of it, and it makes a huge difference to people's lives. It makes a huge difference to organisations, that people come along and get involved because they want to be there and they enjoy being there, and I think that's really important. I also think the reality is that in this day and age there are simply not the services available to support people the way they need, and we need volunteers to fill those gaps.
I'm Nigel Huddleston, the Member of Parliament for Mid Worcestershire, and it's great to be here at today's events where there's about 20 organisations seeking volunteers. Of course, many of them already have a lot of people who help out, but we always need more. It's fantastic as well that we live in a part of the world where people take their community very seriously and want to give back. So if you have time and the energy to help with volunteering, please do so, because we've got lots of worthy causes that could really do with your support and help.